Ah yes, the Ganges Plain. Vedic tribes from the Caspian steppe have established new states on the Ganges Plain. The songs will be the text of a new religion, but the wars will be legendary. And which factions have I not yet played? No, seriously, which factions have I not yet played? I have one as the Kuru, and I have one as the Videha. So there's Kuru and Videha. I haven't played as the Pancala, nor the Kosala. The Kosala are expansionist, meaning that flags cost 1 food less, and flag technologies cost 2 science less. Wealth technologies, however, cost 25% more, and reducing waste costs a whopping 30% more. That's going to be a bit of an issue, I'm afraid. Especially since reducing waste is somewhat crucial as far as, say, power is concerned, if you want to do any serious conquering. And reducing, and getting wealth technologies is quite nice if you want to have money. However, with access to hills over here, or mountains as I sometimes like to call them, I think we'll be having a reasonably easy time earning wealth anyway, even without wealth tax early on. Presumably we will get those wealth tax anyway, but the chief priority for us is going to be expanding. After all, that's what the Kosala excel at, so that's what we will focus on. Let's play on Scholar. And let's check the objectives. At the very top, the Colossus, and then the Temple of Artemis. The Colossus is reasonably easy to get. You tend to get to this sort of count of armies and fleets. Well, any count of armies and fleets, really. It just tends to happen. Works out naturally. Same goes for the city population. You keep on building cities, you naturally reach this threshold most of the time. The lighthouse is at a single crown. It's at its most accessible, and yet most of the time you don't really proc the lighthouse, no matter what sort of game you're in. Maybe, just maybe, if you're on a map with 3 factions, you can possibly work your way towards such an accomplishment. If say it's just a single crown to earn, if it's just 100 tiles. But overall, it tends to be very difficult to acquire. Hanging Gardens ought to be reasonably easy to get, though. For late in the game, you can just save up some gold. Capturing cities is not a matter entirely. That's a matter of conquest. That can be difficult. Pumping power, of course, can be a difficult matter, but you can obtain plenty of power, plenty of temporary boosts via opportunities. So even if you don't have that much gold, or if you do want to get wealth instead of necessarily building up power to such a ridiculous extent, you can still do it. Obtaining 7 crowns or 7 victory points should be perfectly feasible. Now, presumably I should initially focus on flagging all the river tiles to get as much food as I possibly humanly can. So let's get all these cheap river flag tags. Do I want power in rivers to be able to contest more easily? Not really. Not initially, anyway. Do I want forest flag tags? Well, we'll see about that. For now, let's flag all, and I do mean all the rivers that I possibly can. That's it. That leaves me with 2 units of food. What's the waste like? This is what the waste is like. Should I deal with the waste as early on as possible? I don't know about that, because as we have firmly established, reducing waste costs 30% more for this particular faction. So it's, say, 19 wealth instead of, say, 15. Reasonably expensive, although not cost prohibitive at this particular stage. Should I just save up science? Are there any yield techs I could possibly want next turn? I will have 12 science, which really isn't a lot. I get 4 out of yields, I lose 3 out of waste, so it's +1, all in all. Seems pretty pointless. Yeah, basically no yield tax that I can get. Unless I decide to spend my wealth on science. In which case I could possibly work something out. I could pump that up to, say, 20 and then get some science out of rivers, which would kickstart things fairly nicely. Now, granted, I do want to expand as much as I possibly can. So maybe, just maybe, I should instead focus on flags. I could make this trade. I could, and I would get plenty of science every single passing turn, especially with all those additional tiles flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and plus the 3 here. So that's 10 science every single subsequent turn, if not more, that I could then spend on whatever. On top of all the science I'm getting right now. So that would be 14 science every single turn. It would have its cost though. I would get a bit less food. 15 instead of, say, 20. But I think it might still be worth it. These early decisions really swing the game in your favor, quite possibly. These are the sorts of things that can decide games at the end of the day, because the consequences of every single decision so early on ultimately snowball in one direction or another. Let's actually invest in this. Let's actually get some science early on, push in this direction. Now, if I were to spend 3 units of science, would that waste still be an issue? I could just check. Let's do just that. And if I'm wrong, then I'll redo the entire turn. No, I was right! Okay, you do get a single flag for flagging forests. And as a result of that, next turn you have exactly 20 units of science, which you then spend on more science out of rivers. Well, I do. And you maintain 15 units of food. Excellent. All right. I'll also get some sort of an opportunity. Should presumably prove to be highly beneficial. All grassland flag tags, all rock climbers for a free hill flag. That hill flag seems particularly tempting. Grassland flag tags, maybe moderately nice. There are some grasslands out there to flag. Not an insignificant number of them, but we have them spread between the lot of us to such an extent that while they are out there, it's not such an overwhelming amount of them. Not such a high number, whereas getting a free flag right here, right now, can significantly swing the odds in our favor. It's a single spot that I can effectively flag right now, and I might as well designate it immediately. There we go. That's about 9 foods worth of flags, right there. Let's get that bonus science, spending all of the science. Let's immediately start exclusively trading gold for food. And let's flag as much as we can. This might get contested. Do I win the contest? No, neither of us does. But that's okay. I'll try to contest it anyway. I'll try to contest as much as I possibly can in terms of these river tiles. They are, after all, precious. These resources are basically invaluable. Well, let's just say that they are valuable, which they certainly are. You get less out of forest than you do out of grasslands, because grasslands provide you with 1 wealth, 1 food initially, whereas the forests only provide you with 1 food. So I might as well elect to flag this grassland tile. There we go. Turn done. Opportunity redeemed. Things flagged. Will it get contested? We are about to find out. No. I got everything I've flagged. 10 science per city, all research 10 flag tags in total, and redeem it for resources. I think the boost to science production might just be worth it. Can I actually spend that on anything? On any yield tech, possibly? Probably not. Flag techs, then. Well, if I am to desperately try to get flag techs, then I might as well possibly just opt for the first opportunity. Then get flag techs, and then get that surge of resources. Especially since it's easier for my faction to get flag techs, so that surge of resources comes at a lesser price. At 20 false science, there really isn't much I can do other than get flag techs. So no, I presumably shouldn't be that desperate. I should get the nomadic tribes. What do I want to flag? Presumably the hills, to get the wealth to then trade for anything I could possibly want. I could also get a single flag tech for the grasslands. And there we go, with all the leftover wealth, I might as well continue flagging rivers. I will win the contest over here because even though we have 0 power here, the both of us, I have 2 tiles surrounding this. So there's that. I have this tile surrounded, so it's easy, it's trivial to flag it. How about this tile? No power for either of us, but I have 3 tiles surrounding it, so I win the contest. This costs 1, might as well nab it right now, right here, right now. A cheap river tile, obviously I'll try to get it. Another river tile that can't even be contested by my opponents, might as well. What else? What else? A forest tile? Perhaps something more expensive? Or perhaps I could secure myself against enemy incursions by going south through here. I am expanding in an extremely awkward fashion. To the north on one hand, and then fanning out in both directions, both to the west and the east, and on the other hand to the south and fanning out to the west and the east. I should presumably make my mind up, because I am creating this sort of an hourglass figure, which might easily and neatly get squeezed into oblivion if they assault my capital, which would be disastrous, obviously. I do want those hills, and it would be cheaper to flag them if I were to get, say, this forest tile. As great as grasslands are. Fine, fine. Let's stick with a bit of a balance. 4 tiles over here, 3 tiles up the logos have mercy on me. Plenty of tiles have been acquired. Nomadic tribes are within my grasp. Itinerant herders for a free flag, all hill flag tags for fur cloves. I don't know, it's quite expensive in terms of food to get those flag tags, whereas I could just buy them reasonably cheaply. Do I have any flag? I have 2 out of 3, so no, it's not worth it. Let's take the itinerant herders instead. And flag the most expensive grassland tile available. And the one the furthest away. Unless I want to build a city to make flagging in the region cheaper. That's also a distinct possibility. My competition isn't necessarily electing to do that. Oh, then fine. Let's redeem this right here, right now. And what do? Do I make flagging forests cheaper, or do I actually go for those precious hills that I was ranting and raving about? I could hypothetically save up science, at least some of it. Have 35 units of it next turn. And get some more yields. Say science yields off of hills or something crazy like that. 35. All I could get, say, wealth out of rivers. That would be quite impressive. All wealth out of hills isn't going to work out. I should get some sort of a yield out of river tiles, since I have 17 of them at this stage. If I make flagging forests cheaper, can I actually get enough science next any second? 31. Not for rivers, though. Alright, hold on. Let's redo this. Mark this. 35, I need 37 for wealth out of rivers. So let's trade the tiniest of bits. Well, not that tiny of a bit, because I basically have no wealth left. But let's trade for science. At which point I'll start getting wealth out of every single river tile. What else do I want? Even more food? To flag even more things? I can get wealth out of those hills. I should start flagging those hills reasonably soon, but my goodness, is it tempting to flag other things. Fine, let's get some of those precious grassland tiles. These cheap forest tiles right here. And there. Grasslands here and there. Oh, the river tile, obviously, for even more food. Bizarre expansion pattern, but I guess it'll do. I guess it'll work for me quite nicely. I will proc nomadic tribes soon enough, but not quite yet. I will get that surge of resources. Soon enough, but not that soon, not next turn. 7 more tiles. 3 wealth per forest, or a free river flag. There's literally a single river tile that I can possibly attempt to flag, and if contested, I'll lose. So for once, I won't get a free flag. I'll get 3 wealth per forest. How many forest tiles do I have? Under my control, 5. I should presumably just flag more and redeem it next turn. Right, wealth out of rivers. So that's 18 more every single passing turn. Trade all of this for food. I will soon enough actually start accumulating wealth in order to get an army, some sort of a grand army. But for now, let's not. Once again, I am tempted to get another city, but come on. Expansion is a priority. And acquiring forests in order to be able to redeem that opportunity next turn. If contested, neither of us gets it. I am willing to take this risk. Another forest tile. Ooh, another river tile, obviously. Grasslands here. A grassland tile that if contested will be acquired by me. And a grassland tile that will fall into nobody's hands if contested. Alright. 3 flags to the south, 4 to the northeast, and 1 to the east. Let's see how this pans out. Woodworking will be redeemed next turn. Pretty much no matter what I get. This gets contested, so neither of us gets it. Oh, I'm sorry, they get it. They get it. They had power over there. Maybe because they acquired a power tech. Expedition! Place 5 flags in 1 turn for a flag tech. Or standing stones. Build a city on a forest for a forest yield tech. Forest yield techs are mildly tempting. I could hypothetically get a forest over there, or something like that. Forest yield tech. Forest yield tech. More food out of forest, perhaps? Wouldn't be half bad, although I don't have that many forests. I have 9. Which is quite a few, but not as many as, say, river tiles. Whereas a free flag could proc nomadic tribes soon enough. So I could say make it easier for myself to flag what? Grasslands? Forest? Forest, I say. So that's 16 unforest flags. And then what do I need? Oh, just to place 5 flags. Simple enough. Alright, so first of all, Let's make flagging forest cheaper. I think that's 10 flag decks, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, I think that's 9 out of 10, I meant. And then I can get a flag deck for Expedition, for proccing that. I'm not sure if I'll save this. I'll save the 7 science, I think, and I will redeem the flag deck for Hills. Let's get the forest over here. 1, 2... 3. 4. 5. Get a flag tag. Hills. Procs nomadic tribes, which gives me even more resources. I'm saving up science for next turn. I can get some yield tax, anything really. Whatever I want. At this stage it begins to make more and more sense to actually build a city in one of these places. But if I am to build a city in one of these places, it would make even more sense for me to start out by building the city, then get cheaper flags in the vicinity. And go from there. That's not the worst of ideas. I'll benefit from that city anyway. Alright, let's redo all of this. And that forest yield tech also doesn't sound half bad. There are plenty of forest tiles to the south. I would have to change everything around, but my goodness, fine. I'm swerving like this. Standing stones. Go for a forest city over here. Get a forest yield tech in terms of food. And to proc nomadic tribes I need 3 flag techs right now. Five and 8 and 6. So that's 6, that's 19. I can get that. Oh, you know, I could focus on getting forests. Spend 10 right here, right now. Practice, nomadic tribes kick in. Let's cheaply flag all of this. Now, how much power do I have in the area? Not that much. So the grasslands could fall into enemy hands, hypothetically. Unless I like to take power in grasslands, which wouldn't be the worst of ideas, I guess. Power in grasslands and rivers might make sense to acquire. Same goes for forests, hypothetically. Alright, let's get a single power tech in grasslands. So I can relatively safely contest this. Might as well flag this first tile. It's reasonably safe to flag. This one I can get almost for free. It's just 2 food. Which is almost as close to free as you can get outside of spending 1 food on something. And what else? How about a single hill tile? How about that? I could also deploy an army immediately to harass my opponents. I won't really be able to move it particularly far, but I could deploy one. I will not get additional food by trading all this wealth, but I don't think that's necessarily that important. I could put some pressure on my foes. What's the power situation like? It's interesting, I could hypothetically get some tiles off of the Videha. Fine, I shall deploy an army. I didn't have to get that silly power tech, I guess. It might prove to be useful in the future, but... well, let's see now. Should I instead save up the science? And possibly get a yield tech next turn? Would that be superior? Yeah, it sounds like it. Alright, let's cancel that. Build a city on a forest. Get food out of forests. Make this cheaper. That cheaper. Forest flags. Proc nomadic tribes. One, two, three, four, five. Then this. Get an army. Deploy it here. And save the science. I mean, I still trade for it. Depending... Actually, it makes no difference what I trade for because I have 0 wealth. So the distribution is utterly irrelevant. Oh, right, of course. I forgot to redeem that. Well, I can redeem it next turn for 12 more wealth. Right now it's just 8 tiles. Do I want even more wealth out of this? Because I can certainly get it. I can also trade all of that wealth for food. And expand further into the hills, both south and north. It seems increasingly tempting, although obviously I could just redeem that for wealth and spend that on a second army. Start putting pressure on my opponents. I'll redeem that for an army. Once again, fairly questionable, I guess, because this is the expansion phase, but since I already got the ball rolling, since I already got the advantage, I might as well give this a go. Just as a fun experiment. Own 3 cities on grasslands, that's unlikely to happen anytime soon. All build a city far away, the holy city. Well, that's reasonably unlikely for that to happen, although I might deploy one somewhere far to the northeast. Sometime in the future. It'll happen sooner than camouflage, I guess. Holy city it is then. Get woodworking. So my wealth is at 73. Enough for another army. What's the power situation like? They barely emanate anything. They have some power in rivers from attack, but that's about it. That's the extent of the influence. Deploy an army. Put them in a forest right here. And what sort of yield tax do I want exactly? I could get something out of I could get wealth out of forests. 13 wealth every single turn. Wealth tax are more expensive for my particular faction. I could get something else, like more science, especially since that science can then be, say, spent on getting the wealth further up. No. Let's actually just get more wealth out of forests right here, right now. Spending all of the science and giving me a huge boost to incoming wealth. Right, I am right here, right now, emanating power over there. Can I actually pump this up to 2 power? I can't. 3 wealth isn't quite enough. Let's try to take this forest since I'm emanating power over there anyway. Do I get a city to the north? Well, if I am to do that, I presumably should get a holy city. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a holy city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That's the shortest path. It's 5 tiles. So I could get it right here and make it cheaper to flag things around here. This does not preclude the possibility of me getting a city over there. I can have more than 3 cities. Alright, let's do this. Might as well. This becomes a holy city. I emanate quite a lot of power out of here, so it'll be safe to flag, it'll be safe to own this bit of territory in general. Let's get this hill. The forest over here. Well, since I have a smidgen of power, might as well get this. If contested, it'll fall into my hands. Some more hill tiles. Might as well go for these ones. Right here, right now. These will be very safe to flag in the foreseeable future, so let's not worry about them. All the opportunities have been revealed. Pressure has been put on the Videha. Oh, they did not get an army. They did, however, get threatened. And they continue to be threatened. A free forest flag, grow all your cities in one turn. That's going to be mighty expensive. I appreciate the opportunity to grow one of my cities even more, but I don't think I can quite get enough food to let that happen, so I might as well have to take the Ragged Pioneer. I don't know. I could hypothetically get more in food yields in order to be able to swing that opportunity in my favor, but I think it's safer and requires much less meticulous planning to just redeem this right here, right now. 35, 30, and 50. So that's what, 105? All in one turn? It's not impossible to do, obviously. It's just prohibitively expensive. Alright. I also presumably should just get all those flag tags. As much as yield tags are lovely, aren't they? Right, hold on. I'll make it cheaper to flag hills, because obviously I benefit in the long run. And actually there aren't any grassland tiles anywhere nearby, so I might as well ignore that for now. Do I want some power tags to make conquest even easier? Sounds like a plan. Alright, let's get power and grasslands. A single tier of that. It's much cheaper than just pumping power continuously. Which is a known death spiral, I would say. Let's not fall for that. Again. Let's get those hills. Some hills to the north. Do they have any power here? No, but they would win if contest. Well, they do. They first of all they do, and second of all they would win the contest. So let's not bother trying then. I would win the contest here, I think. So let's flag this forest. Anything else? Yes, this forest over here is on offer, I guess. Neither of us gets it if it's contested. Fine. I'll try to get it. Should I trade for science? Is there any particular yield I would like to try and acquire? I do have almost as many forests as I do have rivers, but I can't really benefit from that unless I want more science out of forests, which I could aim for. Let's see, 45. I could just get science out of rivers. That would get the ball rolling in terms of additional science that I can then spend on, say, power tax. Also, I will be flagging plenty of hills. I might as well focus on hill tax. Say, some science out of hills and some wealth out of hills. That'll certainly marvelously work out in my favor. Alright, let's let's continue to trade for food massively to be able to flag south and north. But soon enough, of course, I'll start being preoccupied with other pursuits. I've considered not trading for food, instead retaining wealth to get a third army, but let's not. That's a bit excessive. Stone cutting. Wealth per hill, all. I could conquer a forest space for some resources. Let's take stone cutting. That is a lot to be redeemed right now, or I can redeem it next turn for even more wealth. I think I'll redeem it next turn. And this turn I could try to conquer this isolated city. I can certainly put a hurt on it. Well, put some hurt on it anyway. Put some pressure. I could also get city power techs, or as I like to call them, siege tech, to make the siege even more effective. How well can this city resist, really? Oh, and the destruction of this city will essentially seal the fate of the entire civilization, as far as I can tell. Alright, so let's move my armies over here, first and foremost. Getting this power tech is crucial in laying siege. Fine. Power in cities it is, and then science out of hills, I would say. 16 science every single passing turn. Sounds tempting. Let's do it. I continue to trade all my wealth for food, which continues to make a great deal of sense. Let's continue to flag right here, especially since I have my precious armies in the area. Should make it significantly easier to win any situation where this gets contested. You should have equally as easy of a time of getting it. If no, I should have an easier time because I have 2 tiles surrounding it. Might as well try to go for it. Neither of us gets it, since we have the same amount of power over here, unless they invest in a power tech, power in hills, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. This tile, if contested, will fall into enemy hands, so let's not bother. Let's get the other ones. So many things flagged all at once, all in a single turn. And notice that I haven't redeemed stone cutting because I want all of these additional 7, as far as I can get. Oh, sorry, 8, possibly 8 hill tiles to fall into my hands before I redeem that. That's going to be so much wealth. I could also hypothetically stop trading all of that away for food to get more armies, but I will need food to move those armies anyway. I could have also traded some of that for power to make the siege easier. Well, let's see. Will I actually lay siege to the city? We're about to find out. I will. And now I have to make sure I get the city. Horseback riding or smelting bronze. 3 cities on rivers. Unlikely. Grassland and yield techs are significantly more likely for me to redeem sometime soon. How about more siege tech? I can get power techs at any point in time, anytime I want. You know what? No. Any point in time I want. I want them now. There we go. I can get no other... no other techs, really. But then again, I do want to seal the fate of that... Well, if I want to seal the... This is the perfect sort of opportunity to pump power. I can just guarantee the fall of the city, and at the same time, I do want the yield tax. Much more than I desperately want to get another city power tech that will essentially be useless for the vast majority of the game from here on. So no, let's get yield tax, possibly wealth yield tax. I could get science yield tax, you know that I could. If I could get one out of rivers and out of forests, I'd possibly consider that, but no. Let's go for hill wealth. Yeah, at which point I can't afford much more. Fine, forest science. Pumping power all the way up to 3. What, should I build a city in the region? Once again, it's not the worst of ideas. It would help me secure my borders even more firmly. Well, let's start out by flagging to the south. Neither of us will get it right. Hold on. They don't have power in the region. Ah, might as well contest it. I have the resources to spare. And let's build a city right here. And since I have a city right there, if neither of us will get it, if contested, I'll try to get it anyway. Should I contest? Fine. Let's try to get it. Let's try to get as many of those tiles as I possibly humanly can. Pump power all the way up to fall. Just to be on the safe side. This city must fall. Then I'll move my armies. I'll get a third army. We will eat into all of this territory, gobble all of this up. The southeastern corner of the map will be mine in its entirety. The Videha will fall. They don't have an army yet, come on now. I'm the only faction that has deployed one. I overwhelmingly take over that city, I can stop pumping power. 10 flags in one turn, this can absolutely be done, or double the knowledge yield. That sounds increasingly unlikely. Migration. I'll be able to grow a city. Oh yeah, I still haven't redeemed stone cutting. Well, it's high time. How's the power situation for the Videha? It's pathetic. They basically have nothing. Alright, let's move my armies like so. I'm already threatening this time, might as well threaten some more. Unpump, I stay at 2 power, that's lovely. Do I want to trade for food? I don't think I do. 10 flags in a turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's grow this city. Deploy an army. What, over here to lay siege to this city? I don't see why not. A weak, might as well take advantage of that. You know, the more I look at it, the more I think that I should have grown this city first, then redeem the opportunity second. Fine, let's redo this. Migration it is. Grow the city first. What else? What sort of things do I want? Any flag text that would influence the turn? Not really. Move these guys. Get a unit over here. Move it. That's about as much food as I'll spend on moving units. And let's start flagging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Grow this city again. Flag some more. I'm left with 7 units of food, which is absolutely fine. I have to figure out what to spend wealth on soon enough. I do know what I want out of life, though. I do want more wealth. Even though wealth tax are more expensive for my faction than they usually would, I still want wealth. I do want food. It's pretty lovely. I also do want science. I don't know, I'm torn. I want everything at this stage. Do I want even more wealth? Wouldn't be half bad, would it? Fine, let's focus on wealth first. Just straight up money. Let's not trade anything for science. I'm getting enough science as it is. And let's pump everything into power. That's just 15 units of wealth. That's basically nothing. I will have enough of everything next turn so as not to have to worry about that. I could also focus on reducing waste, which is expensive for my faction, as you can clearly see, but reducing power waste can be the way to go. Not a single faction has got a single crown at this stage, but I am extremely close to it, and I might be the closest to it. I'm in first place. Tied for first place with everyone else, I guess. But I'm over here at the top, and with 6 more spots on the map, which I shall flag momentarily, I'll secure the Great Lighthouse, which happens extremely rarely. Let's do this. Hold on. I forgot to redeem stone cutting. I knew there was something left to check. There we go. All that'll do is it'll waste from my wealth, won't it? Well, no, it'll also allow me to pump my power up to ludicrous amounts. I'm not sure I need to do that. Fine, but I guess I might as well. Do I want it to be at 6? That's the question. They could hypothetically try to secure the borders a bit. I'm not sure it should be 6 exactly. But I do want to lay siege to the city and then take it over. And as much as power waste is a factor, buying that power initially still makes plenty of sense. I will have enough to get an army next turn and to keep the pressure. Fine, whatever. At this difficulty level with this easy of a faction to play, it's perfectly viable to do this, I think. I'll threaten so much land, even in spite of the presence of the army, etc. I will easily take this over, kick them out, threaten all around. Including the fact that I'm laying siege to the city. 2 food per river tile, plenty of river tiles around, might as well get all that food for myself. And what exactly shall I do with it? I should probably start building additional cities and fortifying the ones I already have, because that's the only sensible thing, the only sensible way to spend my resources. Food, anyway. Do I want even more food? No, let's actually keep the ball rolling with science. Or at least get it rolling. Let's get more food out of here, so 33 more each every turn. And then I'll start getting power attacks, presumably. Is there anything for me to flag? 2 tiles. And if there are these 2 tiles available, I might as well flag them. I am putting an exorbitant amount of pressure over here to the east. Might as well deploy an additional army. I could start worrying about the west, but as the Pankala and the Kuru are preoccupied with one another, I might as well leave them to their own devices and focus on my own business over here. Actually, let's not deploy an army. I'm right here. I might as well get another city. No. If I am to get another city, I presume we should get one someplace else, someplace west, just to be on the safe side. Let's get one over here. I would love to upgrade any of my cities, but unfortunately by getting my hands on that one, I have made that impossible. I have depleted my resources. As bottomless as my coffers may seem. Well, my granary is all my silos anyway, because we're talking about food as far as upgrading cities is concerned. I think I'll do just fine. I don't think they can get the hands on enough power to be able to defend next turn. Oh, I'm sorry, I have irrigation I can redeem. Once again, you gotta check all those things. Redeem irrigation, and might as well, what? Bolster this city? I could get yet another one, for more power in the region. Oh, you know, get more power over here? I genuinely don't know. No, let's get another city right here. Just to fortify as much as I can. After all, this gives me 2 more citizens, and those 2 citizens also pay taxes and so on. So it affects my income ever so slightly. Speaking of income, I'll be able to get more science out of every single one of my citizens next turn. If I could get wealth out of them, that would be brilliant, but I'm not about to trade for that. I'm pumping power, even though it doesn't seem like I'm necessarily doing that, because I have resources so ample and vast that it doesn't seem to make a difference. Ah, they moved in and they have actually managed to defend, huh? They have managed to mount a defense that was effective. That's okay. I was only attacking with a single army over there, and it would make sense, but at the same rate, at the same time, I am attacking from so many different angles that I will not really be able to defend too effectively too much for too long. I could take the uneasy truce, and for once I might possibly be able to get the resources out of it. But I think it might make sense to go for bridge building in this context. I do move through rivers from time to time. And 40 wealth ultimately is a drop in a bucket or in an ocean. Compared to, yeah, what? Movement costs across rivers? Come on now. None of this matters that much. Should I lay siege to another city of the Videha? I think so. What's the power situation like over there? Pathetic. The only reason they've managed to defend here is because they have 2 cities in the area, so... actually, that second city doesn't even kick in as far as the defense is concerned, does it? It's 2 power from cities and 5 power from a unit. Right, if I had another army that I presumably would have managed. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'll just harass them in enough places that it doesn't matter. They can't defend everywhere at once. And I am spreading like a plague of locust. I have so many armies that I can lay waste to so many places all at once that none of this even matters. More science every single turn, please. Oh, and more food out of grasslands. How glorious. My income has been boosted. Do I continue to pump power like a fool? No, I think I'll get another army. I could also reduce power waste. That can be tempting. But no, let's get another army and deploy it right here. Pumping power while I'm at it, all the way up to fall. Oh, interesting. I might as well flag the... They'll have much easier access to that than I will, but since I do get this rare opportunity, might as well try to take advantage of it. Let's also grow basically as many cities as I possibly can. Look at my population. It's all the way up at 19. One more citizen, or unit of a citizen anyway, and I'll be able to proc the pyramids. Getting 2 victory points or 2 crowns, depending on what you want to call these. Let's go. I could also get some power techs in rivers, grasslands, and in anything really. Oh look, they swoop in to defend over here. Meanwhile, I presumably will lay siege over there. I need to move armies to the west, otherwise I will get pushed out. I don't even get threatened. I have so much power because of the cities, I do not even get threatened over there. Although I will look into moving my army soon enough. But for now, I think I'll focus on the conquest. Double the food yield, all... Oh, no threatened hexes. I think that ship has sailed. I think that's not gonna happen. Doubling the food yield is going to be pretty unlikely though. Although I do have some food techs on the horizon. So it's not entirely impossible. Fine, I'll try to get philosophy. No promises though. Maybe I should start out with yield techs. After all, since I can, and since you can get power techs indefinitely, might as well invest in that. There we go, movement cost halved, 2 opportunities redeemed. What do I want now? Rivers or grasslands? How about both? Well, it can't be both. Okay, grasslands it is then. Should I get another army? Reduce power waste? Since it is quite annoying. What do I want to do in these circumstances? I'll reduce power waste. You can basically keep on getting armies, but reducing power waste is something you rarely really get an easy opportunity to do, and if in these circumstances I can take a breather and let myself ease this burden a bit, I might as well take this opportunity to do so. Alright, let's keep on growing cities around here, around to the west, to fortify myself. I've briefly considered getting another city in the area, but no, I think growing the ones I currently have makes perfect sense. There we go, 2 victory points, or 2 crowns. I will also continue to pump power for the purpose of conquest. I am threatening 3 cities all at once. Now, if they want to conquer a single river tile, be my guest. All you can swoop in and try to defend one of your cities. All the more, I get this city. What about this? Aha! These 2 remain threatened. I kicked them out of this tile, but I haven't conquered them. But I got 1 city, and that's good enough for me. At least for now. Terracotta, own most of the rivers. I can actually do that, and I will get 1 more unit of wealth out of every single river tile. All Year of Plenty, no. Let's try to conquer river tiles. Ooh, if they surround me here, they will ultimately obliterate my army, but that's not gonna happen. Also, the Pancala have decided to move west. Wisely so. They're not gonna be able to conquer me. My cities are just too big. They're too big to fall. Let's encircle this little city. Should I put more pressure to the north? These cities have flags in them, so they have armies in them. These people are desperately trying to defend their homeland, but, well, my gruesome invasion will not stop anytime soon. I'll just ruthlessly keep on conquering. Do I get more power in cities? Should I get more power in cities? I'll get more power in cities. How about even more power in cities? Yes, I think I will get that. Oh, and since I want to conquer rivers, might as well get some power in rivers. Might as well. Okay, that's about as much science I can spend other than getting completely relevant power techs. What's the power tech objective like? 18 power technologies, which is quite a few. Let's ignore that for the time being. I will have 277 science next turn. Not quite enough to be able to get wealth out of every single citizen. I require 312. I can easily trade for that. And should I seriously continue to pump power? That absurdly? Maybe I should reduce power waste even further. Fine, let's do that. This neatly lends itself towards... hold up, I need a 312. Exactly 312. And I will stick to 5 points of power, which is enough. Absolutely enough. Let's upgrade this city since it's on the border and it's relatively weak. And let's continue to bolster our defenses to the west, where they absolutely desperately need to be strengthened. I might as well grow some of my smaller cities in other regions. Well, smaller cities. Let's grow this one instead. Look at this. Look at all my citizens. Behold. I don't think I want to move my armies. Though with the wealth I shall have next turn, I might as well get another one. Despite the fact that I already have 5 deployed, I could always use a few more. Oh, the Polvideja only have 2. They're stationed in these cities. And that's not helping. It's not helping enough anyway. Oh, and they have a defensive bonus from having an army stationed in a city. That's a relatively new addition. I guess it was introduced in some patch, I believe. I think you also have defensive bonuses in hills. However, once again, this will not dissuade me. This will not work. So they have 6 power from my unit. A single unit at 6 power. Seems reasonable enough. 1 from attack. They have city tech. at stage 1, 2 from a city because they have 2 citizens in that city, and +1 defensive bonus because they have a unit stationed in that city. I have 21 power, 3 from techs, so just straight up siege tech, as I like to call it. 3 units of the city power tech, and 18 power from 3 units taken together. This may drop down to 15 power, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. As long as I have more, I win and take over. They move a unit over there, bolstering the power, and they might therefore actually retain this little city because they didn't pump power strongly enough. How unfortunate. Dairy farming, so food for grasslands, or spend science to keep on getting science. I think I'll take the food. And what, just bolster? Yeah, just grow my cities, I guess. Dairy farming, redeem immediately. Get food. Let's also get wealth out of every single citizen right here, right now. I could have gotten more power tax, but once again, yield tax are limited in how many you can get. Power tax you can get until the end of the game. No more trading for science. Not for me. No, no, no. I could get the final tier of power waste reduction, but let's not do that. I am still waiting for an opportunity to get that beloved opportunity of mine. I could get another army instead of pumping power further, and I think getting another army is the way to go. But first of all, I ought to decide where I want to push with the armies I have. I could and should put pressure on this city, and they either swoop in to defend, or they don't. If they don't, I take the city. If they do, then they do not take this territory from me. It would be kinda sad to let that territory get taken over, but all the same, I think it's better to attack effectively at this particular stage than to defend desperately. Alright, move this army over here, get another army and move it right there. I could hypothetically bolster my defenses over here, and I might as well. Let's get another city in this place, grow this city, make it even bigger, make the defenses stronger. Fortify right here and grow that city. My goodness, so many citizens, 31 of them, and of course every single one of them pays taxes, which translates into plenty of wealth. How marvelous, how glorious. Any opportunities to redeem? No, but if I get 2 more river tiles, I get terracotta, and I get even more wealth every single passing turn. The Pankala aren't bothering me to any extent. They have bigger fish to fry. They have to worry about the Kuru taking over. They have dug themselves in and they are pushing to the east since they have really no one to oppose to the west. Makes perfect sense. Of course the Kuru are going to be safe to the west, so they're going to push to the east. And since I'm not pushing to the west myself, then reasonably enough the Pankala are going to defend to the west. Or push to the west. Meanwhile, I am destroying the Videha to the east. It's going rather smoothly. I am pretty pleased with myself so far. I know I might possibly hypothetically lose this, but come on now. They will reposition, or they'll lose the city. We shall see which it is. They've decided to swoop in to defend, and they do manage to defend. Wisely chosen, but that means that they don't take over that bit of territory. And I continue to threat. Oh, I have redeemed terracotta. I have most of the river tiles. And at this point, even if they take away from me those river tiles, I still get the bonus as far as I understand it. Do I want to reduce any waste? At this point, it isn't that valuable. Bringing my population up from 31 to 62 is nigh on impossible. It could hypothetically happen, but it would cost so colossally much. No, let's take the goldsmith instead. And let's redeem it right away. Might as well. It'll be more and more annoying to try and get as we go further and further into the game. Let's see now. I should get another army, or rather I will get another army. I'll put it someplace south, I guess. How about right here? Put a bit of pressure on this area. Meanwhile, my conquest to the north continues. They haven't conquered over here, so I may as well grow my city. Fortify even further. Grow the tiny cities a bit. Grow this one as well. What else do I want? Maybe some power tax, some siege tax? That would be nice. To have even better odds of conquering cities, just taking them over for myself. What other sort of power tax do I want? Because I could certainly get some. I could get power in rivers. Yeah, I can't quite get power in grasslands. Not yet, anyway. I won't bother with power in hills, since they don't have any armies deployed there. They're not really defending, so I'm not interested in attacking any harder than I already am. My power will remain at... Actually, it will drop to 4, but with so many armies, that should be enough. They have plenty of power themselves, but only so many armies to radiate that power. I think I should be reasonably fine. Let's see what I can do. I don't think I can easily proc philosophy. Actually redeem that. The amount of food I would need to have is so absurdly high. I did take some territory over, but I did not conquer a single city, since as long as they actually keep moving their units appropriately, they may very well fortify sufficiently. Alright, Golden Age or Barracks? Barracks it is. I love that. First of all, you do what you want to do anyway. You reduce power waste to minus 50%, and then it's cheaper to get power. Opportunity procced. And just like that, I can pump my power all the way up to 7. Now, of course, I'm doing what I like to do rather than what tends to be smart to do. Namely, I am continuously pumping power to try and conquer. That tends not to be the that tends not to be the way to play this game and to win this game. Usually, it's significantly wiser for you to just focus on the objectives, but at the same time, it is working here, it is working now. I might as well keep on doing it. Put more pressure on this little city. And you head on over here. So you lay siege to both of these cities, quite possibly. How much power do the Videha have over here to the south? Just 3. I see. I might as well move a smidgen lower over here, and I'll be able to take over this tile. And taking a bite out of the territory allows me easier access to the southern cities. I can encircle them. Quite possibly. We shall see. For now, let's just spend food on growing the cities that I do have. I know they might take over some territory over here, which will cut off these tiles, which will allow them to get the filthy hands on them. However, that only happens if they do not swoop in to defend, and they presumably will swoop in to defend if they know what's good for them. Also, let's get even more siege tech. It's at tier 5 right now. It's pretty ludicrous. Also, I will pump my power all the way up to 7. Behold and despair indeed. Look at this. 3 units attacking this city with all of those tiers in power. Tax. And despite the valiant attempts at defending, they get kicked out of this place. I also get a city up there. Brief respite or the Hilltop Oracle? Will brief respite actually happen? Will I cease to be threatened? Or is it safer to take the Hilltop Oracle? To just get plenty of science. For some wealth. Some tiny amount of wealth. Should I also worry about the situation to the west? Not really, as far as I can tell. Will I get any new terrain types to get yield techs for them? I don't think so. I might get my hands on some sea tiles, although it will be an insignificant amount, so no. I'm mostly spending science to get power techs at this stage. 15 wealth is so insignificant. Might as well try to get Hilltop Oracle. I get 80 fall units of science. How about that? Do I want to lay siege even further? Sure, why not? It also makes my cities beefier and bulkier, so I might as well. Let's not get any additional power techs, that'll do. At least for now. Should I get another army? Well, it does make more sense than pumping power even further, although at this stage I'm not sure what makes sense. Considering how utterly preposterous the entire situation is. I mean, look at me. Alright, let's get an army, put it right there, in this city, to radiate power into basically as many places as I possibly can, keep on pumping power. And let's reposition these guys over here, so they put basically as much pressure on this city as can be put. Also, I'm getting this tile if I need to encircle, which I presumably will not have to. It basically always sounds like I'm gloating when I'm playing this game, but then again, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say in these circumstances that I am put in? Might as well gloat the tiniest of bits. Just a smidgen. Of course, it might be satisfying to see me fail in such a circumstance, but hey. If I fail, then presumably I end up not posting the video, so duh. And besides, it is satisfying to observe these things. At least for me it is. Especially when you actually get to conquer some territory. Instead of sit there and collect victory points. Oh look, I get basically everything. Yep. So I got 3 cities in a single turn. That's ludicrous. But that's exactly what happened. Okay, Academy to trade more effectively for science, or conquer a hill for some petty resources. I guess I'll get the Academy. Something I desperately want to reduce waste. So let me get this straight. If I buy another army, I just straight up win. Right here, right now. Okay. I guess. And let's also reposition them a bit. As if I was to conquer even further. Oh, might as well move these guys over here too. Feign defending. And in the meantime, might as well get another army, deploy it right there, and just get those final few victory points that I needed. That's it. Oh, I might as well get some power in hills. 2 points of power in hills, why not? How many power techs do I need to win on power techs? Oh, I need 6 more. I don't think I'll be able to get that. No matter though. I do have enough. I have already won. Oh, I can flag a little sea tile. I think I might as well. Don't mind if I do. Let's also grow a couple of cities. Why not? Just because I can. Cities grown, resources spent, army acquired, and I do have enough in terms of victory points to just secure my victory right here, right now. I threatened basically everything, and the Kosala have won!
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair!
There we go. Victory as Kosala on Scholar. Perhaps not that overwhelmingly impressive, but there you go. I won by getting the Colossus, so 9 or more armies and fleets. Then the Mausoleum, so 3 captured cities, all more. Pyramid, so 20 city pop, all more. Great Lighthouse, 100 spaces on the map, all more. In second place were the Kuru, with the Great Pyramids, 20 or more city population, the Great Lighthouse, so 100 spaces on the map, all more, and the Pancala, with the Pyramids, 20 city pop, all more. The Videha had nothing. Just nothing. 0 victory points. I've bullied them the entire game. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and you will see me elsewhere.